Yeah, no, it's pretty freezing out. Yeah, if there's anything that you need me to pick up while I'm out. Yeah, no. Yeah, so I'll just head that way here in a little bit. I'll probably be there in like a half.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, buddy, help me out.
Sorry, I don't have any small bills.
Yeah, so Keith just showed up. Yeah, I'll tell him you said hi. You know, other than election night, the only people I've seen wearing those hats in the city have all been homeless.
Maybe Trump gave them away for free.
That guy? I've never felt anything like this before. It's like a collective depression.
I know what you mean. It's been rough. I've been dealing with some major drama. People giving me mountains of shit since the election, but thankfully I think all of that's over now.
Wait, did you vote for Trump?
Look, I had problems with both candidates. You see, back in October, I ran into this guy, Robert, who I met through Fiona because they had taken the same acting class a few years ago and she keeps in touch with him. And that's what he likes to do for money, play saxophone in the subway. And then I noticed he had a Hillary pin on his chest, so I said to him, don't get too disappointed if she loses because I have a feeling Trump's gonna win.
Oh, man, anyone who would even consider voting for Trump is a major asshole.
I saw Trump on TV a lot, and I saw how people responded to him, so I knew.
Yeah, now in retrospect, it's so obvious. We're living in a bubble here in New York, and we had no idea.
But still, I wanted to say something nice to him because he got so upset when I brought up the election. So I said to him, well, I hope she wins because she has more experience, but I wouldn't bet on it. But he got cocky and said to me,
I would.
So what wound up happening was he pressured me into making a bet for $100 that she would win. I tried to tell him he shouldn't do it because he never has any money, but he wound up making fun that I was afraid, so I took the bet. I bet on Trump.
Well, you made the right call, so.
I'm not trying to say I'm psychic or anything, but I had a feeling and it turns out I was right. So in a few days, I called him and I told him he didn't have to rush to pay me. Can you believe it? I told you I had a feeling, but listen, I don't want you to worry about paying me right away. Let's wait until after the inauguration because I don't want the money unless he gets into office. Because remember, they were talking about recounts and Russians hacking the machines, and I wanted to wait until it was official, you know, because I didn't want to have to return the money in case they wound up not giving it to Trump.
Yeah, listen, Keith, I need to keep moving, so...
I'm sorry, that's a my bad. And then I went to Fiona's apartment, and it was like a funeral parlor. They were so depressed.
Oh my God. Now he's basically threatening them. Okay, the cast and producers of Hamilton, which I hear is highly overrated, should immediately apologize to Mike Pence for their terrible behavior. It's like he's in the 8th grade. Jesus. You know, this is how it starts. First they discredit the media, and then they intimidate the artists into silence.
I spent my teenage years in Iran thinking that I'm going to be obliterated by a missile that's going to fall on my head. Mind you, it was an American missile. It wasn't, you know, a Middle Eastern missile. Now I think that I went from one dictatorship to another. And now I've had this little 8 years in between where now everybody thinks it was all okay, but it really wasn't, not for me, not for anybody who's coming from anywhere that I'm coming from.
People shouldn't underestimate how smart he is. I mean, Hillary's a big name, but Trump's is even bigger. And when he talked, he really won people over.
Yeah, and he did it by lying and by bullying people. And do you know, the entire world is just laughing at how big of morons we are right now? We are totally fucked.
And Fiona's a hypocrite too, because she was for Bernie. We got into a big fight during the primary because I said he would never get the nomination. She said she would never vote for Hillary because she's so terrible. But then all the things Trump did, and she thinks he'll get us into a war, she wound up voting for Hillary.
I mean, Hillary is a garbage human being, you know? She had the whole thing rigged against Bernie and then doesn't take any of the enthusiasm for him seriously, and she's acting like everyone's so stupid, you know? Oh, there's 30,000 missing emails, and they're all just about yoga and a wedding. Give me a break.
You see, you're right. I tried to like Hillary, but something didn't feel right. And I don't agree with Trump, but when I saw his speeches and the way he made the audience laugh, people really got into him. So even though it wasn't my idea, I felt pretty confident about the bet. I really did.
Do you see that by supporting this guy, you are supporting racism, Islamophobia, xenophobia, homophobia, and, you know, definitely misogyny?
Thank God he only has 10 fingers.
By putting yourself in the position of this person, you are putting yourself in the position of supporting bigotry. Now, are you okay with being thought of as a racist?
This fucking guy's making assumptions about me. Meanwhile, he doesn't know anything about me. And what business of his is it if I supported Trump or not? That's my right. He can't even vote in this country. And then later, of course, when Arya went out, she takes his side.
Look, you've got to understand. He's Iranian, so he's scared, okay? A lot of people are.
Either way, it's a nightmare. You know, Trump's advocating for religious persecution, so then Hillary's, you know, PC, polite, liberal agenda crowd made her seem like she was for open borders, which again just makes her seem fake and weak, because everyone knows that's impossible since ISIS's literal goal is to turn us into a fundamentalist Islamic country. You know, I'd love to see all these selfie socialites who live to put their asses on the internet would respond if the laws changed. They had to keep their entire head and body covered every time they left the fucking house. It's all so retarded.
Yeah. And then Fiona tried to pressure me into what I should do with the money.
You should donate it to Planned Parenthood. See, the Republicans are trying to cut all their funding. You know, Pence is sick. He wants to make it so that if you have an abortion, you have to have a funeral for your aborted fetus.
You know, it's pretty incredible. You have a guy like Trump who's got 5 kids from 3 different women. He judges beauty pageants for years, and then he's always on Stern and everywhere else bragging about all the women that he fucked. And the main priority of his administration is making it harder for women to have access to birth control.
But do you really think he'll do that with all the abortions? Make these women have funerals?
Of course he would. And then Trump would probably charge the people to put his name on the fetus cemeteries. What people need to realize is that it's all over. You know, like, either we're gonna die in a nuclear holocaust, or even worse, Trump's gonna succeed, and then we're gonna have some kind of hellscape, nouveau riche police state that's gonna be a million times worse than slavery was, because we're all gonna be controlled by computers. So you just do whatever you want. You wanna kiss someone, do it. You wanna punch another guy in the face, do it. You know, nothing matters anymore.
I just hope it's not going to be as bad as everyone says it is.
Are you kidding me? There's no reason to be anything other than hopeless. Like, I think the only reason that most Hillary supporters don't get up in the morning and jump out the window is because they're worried they're gonna land on the minority and contribute more to violence, you know, by what? What?
Okay, so what happened was, I ran into this guy, Alex, who knows Robert, and I was trying to be optimistic. He's who we have, so I think we owe it to ourselves to give Trump a chance. We really do.
Yeah? You think so? You're an idiot. Come on, man, you're smarter than that. Trump supporters run around and they put swastikas on synagogues. They praise Putin. Come on.
Okay, fine. There are some bad people that support Trump, but the Hillary supporters, like Robert, can be just as bad. He owes me money, and he's making an asshole of me by avoiding me, and it's not right. But then, when I was watching the Golden Globes with Fiona, Robert called and he started screaming right away that this guy Alex had gone and told him I was talking about him, saying he owed me money. So I started getting very nervous because already I know this guy is unstable. He's on SSI for mental problems and he used to be homeless. But then the government gave him an apartment, but then he doesn't like the apartment because he has to have all these roommates and he says that they're disgusting. Fiona finds these people. But then a few days ago, what happened was Fiona wasn't feeling well, so she asked me to pick up a prescription from the pharmacy. And when she opened her door, I could tell by her mood something was wrong. And then when I walked into her living room, there were 2 guys sitting on her couch, and without any warning, she tells me.
So this is Andy and Mario. They live with Robert. Apparently, he's been missing for about 10 days, and they're beginning to think that he might not be okay.
When was the last time anybody saw him?
Well, they found some video surveillance footage of him, right, walking alone down by the water by the west side late at night. And he said some things before he left the apartment that seemed to indicate he might have been contemplating suicide.
When was the last time you saw Robert?
The last time I saw Robert, he was wearing a Hillary pin, and I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but I had a feeling she wasn't gonna win. And both these guys started ganging up on me like it was an interrogation.
I heard about you. You're the jerk with the big mouth.
What kind of asshole talks shit about someone who has cancer?
Oh my God. Listen, you have to know something. I barely knew Robert. I had no idea he was dealing with something like that. I respect sick people. I really do. If you don't mind me asking, what type of cancer was it?
Bladder.
You say already he's been gone 10 days. Has it occurred to you that maybe you should respect his wishes? Because if he's been gone this long, maybe he doesn't want to be found.
Okay, look. These guys are going through a lot right now, okay? And for starters, Robert's phone was in Andy's name, and he ran up a huge bill, and now, if he's gone, Andy's not going to be able to pay it.
I never asked you this before. When's your birthday?
Oh. January.
If I disappeared, would you go out at night in the cold and look for me? And it turns out I was right. They went out in 12-degree weather and it didn't make any difference because the next day they found his body by Battery Park.
I actually read about that online. I guess he made the right call, because after Trump and the Republicans are done raping Obamacare, people are going to be begging for euthanasia.
You know, I heard this term the other day. People use it to describe these weak guys that are into Hillary. Cucks. You ever heard that?
Yeah, it's like an alt-right thing.
I guess that's what happened. This guy, Robert, was a real cuck.
I'm gonna head to the train. Which way are you going?
I got some things to do.
Awesome. Hey, man, I'm pretty sick about talking all this election bullshit, so next time you see me out on the street, don't feel obligated to stop and say hello or whatever.
Jay, don't worry. It might not be all bad. Who knows? Maybe Trump will do a good job. Aren't we allowed to have hope?